We read in Politico that Ontario Premier Doug Ford threatened to shut off his province's electricity exports to the United States and block shipments of Ontario's high-grade nickel, which he said provides 50% of U.S. supplies. This is per the Globe and Mail. He added, if they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do anything, including cutting off their energy. This is energy to the United States, with a smile on his face. With us now is the man, I guess, behind that smile, Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario in Canada. Premier, thank you so much for being with us. Okay, what are your plans and how far are you willing to take it?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you, Canadians love Americans. We love the U.S. It's one person that's causing these problems. I've talked to senators and congresspeople and governors, Republicans and Democrats. Not one of them agree with them. I've talked to business CEOs of the largest companies. They totally disagree with this. And President Trump ran on a mandate to lower costs, to create more jobs. This is going to do exactly the opposite. The auto sector, we buy over 400% more autos than Mexico, 200% more than anywhere in the world. And, you know, he put up a smokescreen, he keeps moving the goalposts. Well, the market is speaking loud and clear. The market is going to go downhill faster than the American bobsled team, and we're going to continue seeing in the U.S. plants close, assembly lines shut down. In the auto sector, they may last 5, maybe eight days before the parts that go back and forth across the border 8 times. This is unnecessary, and we do have to retaliate. And I apologize to the American people. It's not you. It's your president that's causing this problem. We're the #1 customer in the world to the United States. We had a great relationship. I want to continue on with that relationship, but I will use every tool in our toolbox to send a message to President Trump that this is the wrong thing to do. When Warren Buffett comes out and says this is basically insanity, you have to listen to someone like Warren Buffett.
So some of the thinking inside the administration goes something along the lines of, in the United States, we can withstand more pain than you can in Canada. So how much pain can you withstand here?
Well, we have the lowest debt in the G7. The United States have more debt than anyone. He wants to come and get a tax break, put a tax break through. He's relying on 2 congresspeople. He loses 2 people. That's it. These tax breaks aren't going. And he's doing this on the backs of the American people. He's going to create job losses. Inflation's going up. The market's dropping. Gas prices are going up. Groceries are going up. For what? We have a very fair trading balance. And if we exclude the energy, the oil that we ship down 4.3 million barrels a day to keep cars going, the U.S. has a $55 billion surplus on everything else, on manufacturing. And I'm fine with that. 55 billion is fine, but we're your #1 customer to 28 states. Have directed our office to take off all the alcohol. We're the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world. We sell to 30, we buy from 35 states, 3,600 products, over $1 billion. They're coming off. We directed our team to pull off the $30 billion of contracts and not use any American companies. And again, I apologize to the American people, but the red states, the people have to start calling their senators, their governors, and congresspeople to stop this insanity that one person's causing.
What do you understand the demands to be? On the one hand, we've heard over the last few weeks it's cracking down on the border, going after fentanyl distribution. Now the president's saying he wants much of the manufacturing returned to the United States. What do you think the ask is?
Well, you can't, in the auto sector, and no one knows what the ask is. It depends on what he wakes up and eats in the morning, and that changes. You know, the auto sector, you can't unscramble an egg that's been made since the 1960s in the auto pack and expect plants to just open up. We buy as many cars as we sell down to the U.S. It's been working. It's a great system that we have right now with all the auto sectors, but it'll only last 8 to maybe 10 days at the max, and then you're going to see auto plants being shut down. I wish we knew what the president wanted. We need to sit down and move forward on the USMCA and put this behind us.
I just got to ask you, very briefly, How upset, how mad are Canadians? Canadians aren't usually the types to get angry, but how mad are Canadians this morning?
They're absolutely livid. They're furious because we look at the United States as our family. We're one big family. We've stood shoulder to shoulder in wars and every other crisis there is. We love the American people, but unfortunately, the president has gone sideways on ourselves. And you know, we power, Ontario powers 1.5 million homes and businesses in New York, in Michigan, in Minnesota. I've talked to all three governors. I want to ship more electricity. I want to send more critical minerals, but I will not hesitate to use every tool in our toolbox to protect Ontarians and Canadians across the board. I've never seen patriotism run so wild across our country. Right down to the grocery aisles, people refuse to buy American products. This is not right. We love America, we love the people, and the president needs to be stopped. Simple as that.
Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario and Canada, we do appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us. Again, we continue to watch the U.S. markets now off their lows by a little bit, but still dropping precipitously after the open.
The top U.S. trading partners are hitting back at President Trump's overnight tariffs. Right now, out on Wall Street, investors are weighing this new exchange of tariffs with Mexico, Canada, and China. The Dow already down more than 500 points, and the market's just opened. And inflation-weary Americans could soon feel the squeeze on their wallets big time. Prices of food, electronics, and big-ticket items like cars all potentially going up and up. And there's more breaking news right now. Target becoming the latest top retailer to issue a specific warning about the U.S. economy. The CEO just a few moments ago saying sales fell last month, U.S. consumer confidence is weakening, and Americans will feel the pinch almost immediately.
The consumer will likely see price increases over the next couple of days. You think about all the fresh produce. You know, we depend on Mexico during the winter. We're going to try to make sure we can do everything we can to protect pricing. But if there's a 25% tariff, those prices will go up.
For things like what? Strawberries, avocados, bananas? What are we talking about?
You've got that list right.
Is that so?
Those are some of the key items.
And those prices could change within days in the
Could
stores?
change certainly over the next week.
We're covering all the angles right now with CNN crews in China, Mexico, and Canada. Let's begin with our correspondent Mark Stewart. He's in Beijing. Mark, China responded very quickly. What can you tell us?
It's good to see you, Wolf. There is no question China thought hard about this. These latest tariffs are strategic and full of substance, targeting American farmers and people who work in agriculture, industries and sectors that were hit hard by tariffs previously back in 2018. These latest tariffs are now an additional 10 or 15% depending on the product. Among the items on the list, things like beef, chicken, fruits and vegetables. One item that really caught our attention, soybeans. China's pork industry depends on soybeans to feed its pigs. Soybeans were the highest value import from the United States last year. But all of this isn't a real surprise, Wolf. It fits very much in China's foreign policy of tit for tat. You hurt us, we'll hurt you back. China, Wolf, is fighting back.
I stand by. Our correspondent Valeria Leon is in Mexico City for us. Valeria, we just heard from Mexico's president vowing retaliation. What can you tell us?
Yeah, President Sheinbaum announced that Mexico will respond to the tariff with tariff and non-tariff measures that she will announce in a public event on Sunday. And this means that so far we still don't know exactly what measures the Sheinbaum government is going to take. But in the end, Mexico had no chance for a last-minute deal to skirt Trump's tariffs. Despite all Mexican government's efforts, the tariffs went into effect, leaving a bitter aftertaste. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum insisted that her administration did its part over the last month by beefing up the military presence along its northern border, which bought a month-long pass of the tariffs. Wolf.
I stand by as well. Our correspondent Paula Newton is in Ottawa for us. Paula, Canada is the top trading partner with the United States. How are these new tariffs imposed by the Trump administration being viewed there?
as an existential threat, and that comes from the government itself, Wolf. Now, we want to say Canada said it was ready, and at midnight, in fact, 12:01, it started to impose retaliatory tariffs. So that's 25% on 30 billion Canadian right now. What does that involve, Wolf? Meat and vegetables, some dairy products. Key here, though, Wolf, is that many provinces, including the largest, Ontario, beginning to take U.S. alcohol off of its shelves, no longer willing to sell U.S. alcohol in Canada. A lot of provinces are going to be signing up to that. Right now, we're waiting for more retaliatory moves. We're expecting a press conference from Prime Minister Trudeau in about a half an hour.
We'll see what he has to say. Paula, Valeria, and Mark, to all of you, thank you very much.